CEO Ronald Hicklin from Creating the Difference. I want to talk to you a little bit about urethane and reactive and kind of what makes them unique, what makes them different. So this bowling ball right here, the Black Hammer, is one of the first urethane balls ever made. And this bowling ball right here, the Excalibur, is the first reactive ball ever made. What's interesting is when you combine these two, you kind of get this bowling ball, which was called the Helix, and this gold is actually urethane, and the black is actually reactive. But what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is the difference between what a urethane ball is and what a reactive ball. And that really comes down primarily to one chemical, and that's this chemical right here. This chemical is a plasticizer. And what this does is this chemical, when they put it in the bowling ball when it's being made, it actually will volatilize off. And when it volatilizes off, it leaves a hole or a pore in the actual cover stock. That pore becomes very, very important because that pore will allow oil to be absorbed into the bowling ball. And that is really the difference between a reactive ball and a urethane ball. Urethane balls don't have this material in them. They don't have pores, so the oil can't go into a urethane ball. So urethane balls do not absorb oil, whereas reactive balls do absorb oil. What's interesting to note about that, the reactive balls, because they have this plasticizer in them, they're also not nearly as durable. What ends up happening over time, the reactive ball has all these holes in it. It will actually begin to shrink on itself. And that's what I'm going to show you with this ball here that is both urethane and reactive. If I take and use a micrometer to actually measure the diameter, we're going to measure the diameter first of the urethane side. So I'm going to line this up right here. We're going to check the diameter of the urethane side. And this is going to tell us how big this bowling ball is, all right? So it's 8.558 in terms of the diameter of the urethane material. But when I take that and then I rotate it 90 degrees here, and we're gonna do the same thing, we're gonna catch the reactive side now. So I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna catch the reactive side. Now we're gonna be able to roll it in here, and now it is 8.524 inches in diameter. So the bowling ball is definitely smaller on the reactive side compared to the urethane side. And this bowling ball was made all at the same time. So the difference, there's no difference, whereas this bowling ball is definitely a different time period when this bowling ball was made. But this is all made at the same time, and obviously this has begun to shrink. Now, what does that mean from a performance standpoint? Obviously, the reactive bowling balls give us the performance that we like. It tends to be longer, it tends to be more aggressive. The urethane balls tend to be earlier, tend to be smoother. Obviously, right now there happens to be a trend with the flatter patterns to prefer the more controlled urethane motion as opposed to the reactive motion in certain cases. But for what you need to be aware of is that the main difference, what makes this ball urethane and this ball reactive, is this material right here, which is called a plasticizer. So if you really have to question whether your bowling ball is reactive or not, one of the ways you could check is, or ask is, does the ball have plasticizer in it? If the ball has plasticizer, it most definitely would be considered reactive. And if it doesn't, it'd be considered urethane. When I have a little bit more information about urethane and reactive, if you like this video, hit the like button, maybe subscribe to our channel. We've got tons of videos on here about bowling education. We're here to help you become a knowledgeable bowler and bowl your best. With that being said, I'm out of here. CEO Ronald Hicklin from Creating the Difference. Talk to you soon.